podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, let go, show recaps, predictions, sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and I'm live for your Raw Recap. Oh boy, man, what? I don't know what to say. I don't think the show is that great, but I don't know. Here we go. We're on the road to SummerSlam, so yeah, a lot of stuff, very predictable stuff. I don't know. We did add one match to the match card for SummerSlam, so I believe that's 9 matches now in total. So we have 3 more to go. 3 more to go. That's crazy. That is wild. Go ahead and retweet this. You guys are missing out on the exclusive news channel because I put a lot of stuff in there over the last couple of days, and all of that stuff came true tonight. So I put Dom and Danhausen in there a couple of days ago. So you guys are definitely missing out. Never too late to get in. Never too late to get in. Just retweeting to everyone. Oh, I'm so sick about these hooks tonight. Unbelievable. Contreras, Murakami. Oh my gosh. So sickening. It's awful. Oh, those are tough ones to shake. Those are tough ones to shake. All right. We got about 13 people in here. Man, I'm sick about those. Fuck. Everybody was hitting homers tonight. What's up, Kyle? What's up, man? Bad Raw. No women's matches till next week. The final Raw before SummerSlam, by the way. What happened? Pretty much what I said. It was going to be a shit show. And that's exactly what it was. No wonder why they're selling the tickets for $25. They're probably going to be giving them away for long. I don't know. I didn't. I mean, the show wasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't give it over a 5 for sure. They just do not know what to do with the women's division. They just don't. You got Liv Morgan out here running around with Danhausen. It's just wild. This is just wild stuff. A couple quick announcements before we get into the Raw recap. Obviously, I posted some stuff in the GC chats. I'm not posting it on X because people's accounts. I saw Corey's accounts back up, so glad to hear that. But people are still they're still looking at that stuff. So I'm not posting anything from the Discord and on Twitter. So unless somebody asks me to post it, then I don't know. Probably still not doing it. But you can still get in. It's just July the 21st tomorrow. There's still 10 days left in the month. If you sign towards the end of the month, then probably will let you roll over to like September the 1st. And like I said, everybody that's in there was going crazy tonight because pretty much everything I put in there. We're getting Lyra and Soul at SummerSlam. I can guarantee you that that's happening. Dom and Danhausen was made official. I said that to Kyle earlier on the phone today. That was going to happen. So, yeah, don't miss out on that. Also, if you are watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button. Help me get to 300 subscribers. I do believe I got a new subscriber today. So shout out to him. Put me at 255. So thank you for that. Next week is a big week. We have a SummerSlam prediction show coming up next a week from Wednesday. So it's a full panel. We're going to be predicting all 13 matches. I believe it's going to be 13 matches. Still got to add Trick's match, which will make it 10. Sol and Lyra will make it 11. I still feel like they're going to do something with the Bellas and Paige against Fatal Influence. That's probably going to be 12. And they're going to do something with, I mean, they're doing the Vision versus Alpha Academy next week. So what possibly could happen is Alpha Academy could get a lucky win or something. I don't know. We're getting something out of this Alpha Academy and Vision stuff. That would probably be 13. The SmackDown tag titles are not going to be defended at SummerSlam. There's a possibility that Raw titles could be defended, but it looks like they're, I don't remember if they said if it was a title match next week or if it's non-title. But I don't know. The card's okay. But the build, it's not great. Liv, yeah. If you're a Liv Morgan fan, you better be worried, because she is way too wrapped up with Danhausen. And we've seen what's happened with Danhausen. If he curses you, then that's pretty much it. You're gonna lose. So doesn't look good for Liv. I mean, they could turn it around, but I don't know. I heard she does have some things that she wants to do. So I mean, it's possible that she drops the title. We'll see. Shout out to the world of Greg. He was the winner on Sunday Night Scoops. And he was added to the exclusive channel. He got to see a lot of the stuff that was posted last night and today. It actually happened on the show. So I'm glad to have another member of DWE in there as well. Miami is also in there. He's my boss, so I'm not charging him to be in there. I'm sure he's probably not even looking, but if he wants to look, he can. Obviously, he has access to the channel, and Greg has it from July 19th to August the 19th. So, thank you, Greg, for coming in there. I know you're not a huge spoilers person, but you can at least see some of the work that I do and see some of the information that I put out. So, glad to have some other people from DWE in there, so that when stuff happens, I get some other people that I work with can see, okay, well, a lot of stuff he's putting in here is actually happening. So thank you for coming in there. I know that could have been a little weird situation. Obviously, it's a 50-50 Discord, but Miami's in there. Final Boss Baby is not in the exclusive, but she is in the Discord. So, but congratulations. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I spun the wheel 12 times. And it landed on you. So you have free access for a month, and then it's ultimately up to you after that what you want to do. So yeah, it's like I said, it's never too late to sign up. You guys killed it yesterday with Sunday Night Scoops. The deal was if you guys got 10 likes on the stream, that I would do another giveaway this week. So we got 11 last time I looked. So great job by you guys. Definitely #1 show on my YouTube channel as far as the analytics goes. So thank you guys so much for that. Next Sunday, I'll be doing another giveaway for the exclusive channel on the wheel. You have to be in the comments. So if you just say you were there, but I don't see you in the comments, then you can't go on the draw. It's not fair to everybody else. Can't win twice in a row. So Raymond won the first week and Greg won yesterday. So we will get a new winner this week. So this is how you have to do it. Sometimes you have to give stuff away. Word of mouth goes a long way. I think I'm around 25 or 26 members at this point in the first month. So that's not too bad. there's over 400 people in the Discord. So really working on trying to get majority of that Discord in there for sure. Before it's all over with, especially for SummerSlam. So there will not be a Sunday Night Scoops or an LFG show the weekend of SummerSlam. So if you guys are expecting that, I did tell you guys last night, it will not be a Scoop show August 2nd or LFG. I'll go over my schedule with you guys at the end for next week. It's not too tricky. But Saturday night will be the night one recap, and then Sunday night, instead of doing scoops and LFG, it will be the night two SummerSlam recap. So make sure you guys are locked in. We have a full rest of this week. Tomorrow I won't be streaming live here, but I'll be live with Kyle for Queens of WWE at 8 p.m. Eastern. We may stream it to this channel. I don't know. It gives me an option to do that now on the package I got with StreamYard. So we may do that. Have to ask Miami and see what he thinks. But yeah. So busy week. After tomorrow, I will be doing the Big Brother show Thursday and then SmackDown Friday. Unreal comes out tomorrow on Netflix. So I'll probably be watching that tomorrow. Or start watching it. It's gonna take me a couple of days to watch it. I'm not gonna just binge watch it. And then I'm gonna recap it this Saturday night after way after DW Radio is over, probably 8-9 p.m. Eastern time. So Saturday night, I'll give you guys the recap of Unreal. I did a pre-recorded for season 1, and then I did a show for season 2. So that's a different show, different element. I don't know. What did you guys think about Raw? I don't know. We have 9 matches on the card for SummerSlam, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I really ain't. Shout out to Greg for reposting the stream. Let me go through the SummerSlam matches just so I can see if I can remember them all before we start the stream. So the 2 main events is obviously Roman Reigns. I'm going to count them out. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And then Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. So that's 2. Okay. So we have Liv Morgan and Io Sky. That's 3. The 4th match is the ladder match for the interim SmackDown Women's Championship. So far, we have Tiffany and Jade. And we'll have Charlotte after Friday. That's 4. It hasn't been announced, so I can't say it's a matchup. OP versus Brock. That's 5. And then we have Chad Gable versus Penta. That's 6 for the Intercontinental Championship. Jacob, Jimmy, and Jay against Solo, LA Knight, and Royce Keys. That's 7. What am I? Danhausen versus Dom. That's 8. I'm leaving one out, guys. What am I leaving out? That's 8. That's 8 matches. I'm leaving one out. I just really feel like I'm leaving one out. Let me think. Roman Seth, Cody Punk, Liv ladder match. I'm thinking of all the titles first. That's the 4. Penta, Chad Gable. That's 5. That's 5 title matches so far. Over Brock, 6. Dom Danhausen, 7. The 6th man is 8 with Jacob, Jimmy, and Jay. And is that it? Is that all we have? Is 8? If anybody in the chat knows, is that all we have? Is 8 matches right now? I thought we had 9. Let me look at the card. Let me look at the card right now before we get into Raw. It's not like we are in a big rush. I could have came on here really happy tonight because I missed out on about 5K with like one swing. It's unbelievable. My luck is just really shitty right now. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can find it on something. Do we have anybody in the chat? I don't know if somebody's on a space. Carlos does a space, so let me see if I can pull up the chat. Okay, matches confirmed for SummerSlam. $2026. All right, let's see what we got. Roman South. You're here, Kyle. What am I missing? Roman South, Cody Punk 2, Liv EO 3, Interim WWE Women's Championship Ladder Match 4. That's the 4 title matches. And then we have Penta, Chad Gable's 5. That's 5 title matches. And then 6 is over Brock. Oh, 7 is Gunther, Nick Aldis. 8 is LA Knight, Celeste Cole, Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and the Usos, and then Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. There's 9 matches on the card. So let's run through them again. For the World Heavyweight Championship, we have Roman in night 2 main event, Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins. In night 1 main event, CM Punk. I still think somebody might be added to that. Don't hold your breath. That's the match. I think Sammy might get added to that. I do think Sammy might get added to that. That's another one that I called out with Gunther and Aldis. Because WWE still lists the match as official, but yeah, Nick Gunther. That was the one I was forgetting. So Roman Seth, as of now, Punk Cody, there's still a shot that Sammy gets added. Liv and Io, the interim women's championship ladder match, Tiffany, Jade, and after Friday, Charlotte over Brock for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Chad Gable. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. LA Knight, Celeste Cole, Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and Jimmy and Jey Uso. Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. So that leaves room for 4 matches, guys. That leaves room for 4 matches. So let's talk about what those possible 4 matches could be. Because we're not getting a 14. We're going 13 matches. It's going to be just like WrestleMania. 7 one night and 6 the other. So we have 9. So we're going to have Sol and Lyra. Shout out to the new DWE media page. I'm loving that page. I love it. Shout out to them. So we're going to have Sol and Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. That's either where Lyra could win the title, or we see Bayley come back and cost Lyra to set up a further feud with them. Don't forget about that. I'm going to put that in the channel tonight. So Sol Lyra would make 10. Then what else? Trick. I think it's going to be Trick, Baron, Carmella, and Ricky Saints. Ricky may not be in there, but it's going to at least be a triple threat. That would be 11. They're going to do something with the Bellas. I think it's going to be Nikki, Paige, and Brie versus Fatal Influence. I think that's 12. What could be 13? Oh, it's going to be something to do with division. It's either going to be the tag titles are going to be on the line, or we're getting Theory and Otis. Because Otis is from Minnesota. That is going to be your fucking card. There's not going to be SmackDown tag team titles are not going to be on the line. That's going to be your card. That's going to be your 13 matches. Where they put them, what night, I don't know. But that will be your 13 matches. So we're not getting 14. We're not. So Yeah. So we got Liv Io, the women's ladder match, and Saul's gonna defend. That'll be 3. And then I think they'll do something with Fatal Influence and Brie and Paige, and Nikki. We're gonna have 4 women's matches and 9 men's. That's crazy. That's just wild. Basically one big huge championship, Io and Liv. And I'm not gonna lie, like the story started off pretty good, but so when they put Danhausen in it, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. I don't know what match are you guys looking forward to? Because I mean, they said this was going to be better than WrestleMania, but is it? You guys think the card's better than WrestleMania? Roman Punk, Cody Randy is Roman Seth Cody Punk better than Roman Punk Cody Randy? I mean, match results probably so because of the Pat McAfee shit, but I mean, what else we got? Penta Chad will be great. That'll be a good match. Dominic's gonna lose. I'm gonna tell you right. Dominic's not beating. Danhausen's not losing. He's just not losing. Top merch seller. That's why he's on the fucking card. Joe Henry's gonna get involved. Probably be in his corner. That's what it looks like. I thought it was gonna be a tag match for a second, but then they Liv and Io. And I hope the ladder match. I think the ladder match will be good. They need to put some people in there that can perform in a ladder match, though, not just top stars. I'm telling you guys, I really think Sami Zayn's getting out of Cody Punk. I think it happens Friday. I'm telling you. And ain't nobody posted that shit, so I don't want to hear nobody else. Oh, I heard it from no, the fuck you didn't, because I look on. I look. I'm telling you, if he gets added, I know I said it first, 100%. I don't know if he is. I don't have confirmation, but I can't see them leaving Sami off the card. If they're doing Danhausen and Dom, they're not going to leave Sami off. This is a way. Sami is going to squeak his way into this match because the Cody Punk shit's going to go all the way through the fall. This shit's far from over. They'll probably have 3 matches, so it's a way for Cody to lose without getting pinned by Punk. I think it's a smart decision if they want to continue the Cody Punk. Yeah, what's up, Kingpin? Thanks for shooting out for my fan. Oh, I meant to mention that. I will later. Tribal Kingpin made the post for me. I have several fantasy football leagues, affordable for pretty much anybody that plays on a regular basis. I have a $10 league, a $15 league, a $20 league, a $25 league, and then the big boy league, which is $100. Which that one usually fills up the fastest. To be honest with you, right now, Tribal Kingpin, we're kind of before we're starting the Raw recap, we're just kind of talking about the SummerSlam card. We have 9 matches on the card, 4 spots left to be filled. I'm telling everybody, I really feel like Sami Zayn getting out of it. I think it's happening Friday. I know you saw my post from my Discord channel. As much as you support, man, I'm almost just like, show up Sunday, man, to Scoops. I'm really considering just putting you in the channel. You're super supportive. You help me out a lot. So just show up Sunday to Scoops. Either that or I can give you a free spot in one of my fantasy leagues if it fills up, which I've never not had a league fill up, but this year is looking kind of bleak. I think I waited too late to advertise. But we're gonna try. We're gonna keep pushing it. But just show up Sunday. I'll see what I can do. I just can't have the whole Discord knowing that I'm giving. Yeah, I'm gonna need some help filling these leagues. I had a lot of people got. There was a huge fight. Majority of the people, all the people were in every one of my leagues. There was a huge fight broke out. A lot of people were friends with my ex. So obviously when we split up, you know how that goes. I'm not gonna put that shit out here on for the whole world to listen to. It didn't go well, so I lost a lot of players. This is the first year that I literally had to pretty much restart. So, especially my $100 league, I maybe had to pick up one player a year, but it's bad this year. I'm having to start from scratch. I'll do what I can. Like I said, you are supportive. I know you like the spoilers. I've been posting this stuff in the chat. I'm sure you can see. I posted about Danhausen and Dom. I think I said it on Scoops yesterday as well. I guess I should have. I knew I should have made YouTube shorts yesterday. But it's in the channel. Greg can see it. Miami can see it. So show up Sunday because we did get 11 likes, so somebody's gonna win anyway. So I am giving away a free spot. Would like to get a couple of fantasy football leagues filled. If I can't get them all, I would like to get a couple filled for sure. I know. Carry down to play in the $25 league. So just got to keep pushing, man. I'll push on Facebook as well. And we'll work on Twitter. I don't really know any other platform that we could explore. So let's talk about SummerSlam some more. We got 9 matches. I just ran through the match card. I do think there's a possibility Sammy gets added because if not, what else is he going to do? Are they going to leave him off the card? I don't think so. I think he's going to go to Adam Pearce Friday and say that he got screwed by Nick Aldis. He didn't get pinned. Gunther did. And I think he gets added. The thumbnail doesn't say that. The graphic don't say that, but that doesn't mean shit. That does not mean shit. I do think Sammy gets it. I will be surprised if he doesn't get added. I'll just tell you that. So the other 4 matches, I mean, I kind of talked about the people I felt like were going to be added into the ladder match. Charlotte's beating Nia Friday. That's 100% happening. I don't know what to do with I don't know who fills the other 2 spots. Chelsea Green is a possibility. Her and Tiffany are like tight. So maybe that could I don't know which one of them is going to win. They're going to put the title up on the ladder. It's going to be like the Money in the Bank type of thing, I guess. You got to have some people that can fly off the ladder and stuff, make the match good. Julia would be a good one, I think. Maybe Kiana James, Blake Monroe, but is that going to be our first match on the ladder match? If she wins, then she's going to drop the title back to Rhea. So do you really want to do that? I'm telling you right now, they're setting up Rhea and Io for Crown Jewel. If Rhea is healthy, that's what they're doing. Because it's a huge singles match. It is. And Rhea's never beaten Io one-on-one. So let's talk about the matches that could possibly fill up the last 4 spots. We talked about it earlier. So we have 9 matches. Solrook and Lyra is going to happen. That's going to be 10. Let's see. Trick. It'll be Trick, Baron, Carmelo, maybe Ricky. It's going to be some sort of combination. That would be 11. Let's see what else. There's going to be something with the Vision. It's going to be something with the Vision. Whether it's the tag titles or just Theory and Otis. It's going to be something with the Vision. That would be 12. Well, there's 9 right now. So it's Soul and Lyra would be 10. The Vision stuff will be 11. Trick will be 12. 1 more match. I know I just said it earlier. Who could it be? Oh, the Bellas. Brian Page and Nikki against the Fatal Influence. That's what I think they're doing. That would be 13. That's going to be the card. We are not getting 14 matches. We're not getting Priest and them are not defending. That match is not happening. It might happen on SmackDown before SummerSlam. So that's our card right now for SummerSlam, guys. Next week looks like a decent show. It's the go-on show. Roman and Seth face-to-face over and Brock. We have an Intercontinental Championship match next week between Sol Ruka and Raquel. The whole Judgment Day is cursed, so I don't think Raquel's winning. In fact, I would bet on it. If you're not. And then we're going to have something to do with, it's going to be the Alpha Academy going against Otis and Tozawa. I do think that something culminates from that into SummerSlam. So Gunther and Nick Aldis is going to be a lot better than people think because Nick Aldis can wrestle. So Nick Aldis can wrestle. If you're watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button. At 250, at 300 subscribers, we will do a giveaway. So we're at 255. Please retweet. It's on my Twitter page. It's on my Instagram. It's on my TikTok. Share it with your friends. Anybody you think enjoys wrestling content. But we're 30 minutes in, so let's get on Raw. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. July 20th, 2026 from Detroit, from the Little Caesar Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I've seen Mona there, which I have interviewed her before. She's from that area, I believe. I've seen her that she was on TV. So, this is the Saturday night main event post Raw. We're going to see LA Knight take on the Bloodlines, Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I don't know what they're doing with this Solo and Seth Rollins stuff. It seems like they're trying to play back WrestleMania 40 a little bit with the Cody stuff. I wasn't really feeling it. Seth Rollins will kick off the show, which he did not. They changed that. He was supposed to.
Slaps LD. We're all about Cody.
He was supposed to kick off the show, but he did not. All right. Non-title match for WWE World Tag Team Championship. The Vision, Braun Breaker, and The Pressure. That's what Maxine calls Austin Theory, The Pressure. Austin Theory versus the Young OG, Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Tag team match, WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta and Chad Gable versus All Ego, Ethan Page, and Rusev. I did not see much of that match, so honestly. The Seth Rollins will be on. Danhausen makes an appearance. So, don't know if you guys saw it on X. I'm sure you have. The Vince McMahon, Janelle Grant lawsuit is done. It's done. So, I'm not going to spread information that I don't know anything about because I don't. But I can tell you that it's over. And that's all I'm going to say about it. You guys can put two and two together, think what you want to think, listen to the IWC, whatever you want to do. But it is done. It's a done deal. So we'll see. Is it going to come back? We will see. So the show opens up with a video package recapping the past weekend Saturday night's main event. We saw the SummerSlam kickoff, Cody and Punk. I don't know what to think about that. Punk called him a little brother, talked about Cody being paranoid, which all of his friends have turned on him. Makes sense. I don't know what they're doing. I think Sammy gets added. I think that's a way to protect Cody from getting pinned by Punk. If they're not going to turn Cody at SummerSlam, then they need to put Sammy in the match and have Punk pin Sammy. So we get the Saturday Night Main Event special. Michael Cole and Corey Graves welcome us to Raw as we see the pre-show arrivals of the division. Penta, Chad Gable, Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso, Royce Keys, and L.A. Knight. So instead of Seth Rollins kicking off the show, we get the young OG himself. Javon Evans makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night, followed by his tag team partner tonight is Dragon Lee. And then out comes the Vision. Maxine Dupree leading the way with her new man, Austin Theory, Brian Breakker, and Logan Paul, tag team champions. This is a non-title match. Brian Breakker and the Pressure, Austin Theory versus the young OG, Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. So, let's get to the match. The match starts off with all four men in the ring. Javon and Dragon Lee jump divisions to start the match. Javon then hits a knee to Austin. Dragon Lee hits a basement dropkick. Dragon Lee then hits Theory with a Hurricane Rana. Javon Evans is now the legal man, and he delivers a Hurricane Rana of his own and then hits a standing dropkick. Brian Breakker tags himself and helps Theory plant Javon Evans. Brian Breakker then pounds away at Javon. Brian Breakker sends Javon across the ring. Dragon Lee then enters the fray, and he super kicks Brian Breakker. Make sure you guys retweet this also on Twitter if you have not. Dragon Lee then hits Brian Breakker with a DDT and goes for the pin, but we only get a count of 2. Dragon Lee then heads to the top rope, but sees Logan Paul on the apron. Logan Paul is always that person that's going to be a distraction for the division, as well as Maxine. Dragon Lee then takes out Theory. Dragon Lee then goes for a crossbody. Brian Breakker catches him midair and hits him with the world's strongest slam. Dragon Lee then runs into a big elbow. Austin Theory is now the legal man. He hits a snap suplex on Dragon Lee. Austin Theory then applies a rear chin lock in the middle of the ring. Austin Theory then hits a clothesline on the back of Dragon Lee's head. The Vision then continue their beatdown on Dragon Lee. Brian Breakker then drives his shoulder first into the post. Dragon then sends Theory over the top rope and to the floor. Javon then comes in and he hits a kick on the back of Theory and follows it up with a stunner. Javon then launches himself over the top rope, wiping out Austin Theory. Javon Evans then sends Breakker into the timekeeper's area. Javon then flies over the barricade, wiping out the Vision. Back in the ring, Javon hits a springboard clothesline on Theory and goes for the pin, but only gets a count of 2. Dragon Lee then stomps Austin Theory in the midsection. Logan Paul is up on the apron again. Then Maxine Dupree, the difference maker, grabs the leg of Dragon Lee, allowing Brian Breakker to clothesline Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans saves the pinfall though. Brian Breakker then hits a massive spear to the young OG himself. Brian Breakker then hits a spear to Dragon Lee with Austin Theory's help for the 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match. He nearly broke Dragon Lee in half with that spear. That spear is lethal. The winners of the non-title match, the WWE World Tag Team Champions Division, the unpredictable badass Brian Breakker and the Pressure Austin Theory with Maxine and Logan Paul. After the match was over, the Vision attacked Javon Evans. And out comes Alpha Academy. Big surprise. Otis and Tozawa make the save. Austin Theory punches Tozawa while Otis hits a clothesline to Austin Theory. Tozawa then hits a suicide dive. Otis then hits a choke slam, and then Maxine Dupree is standing on the opposite side of Otis, and she slaps him right across his face. Maxine then goes to the floor, and Otis hits a clothesline to Braun and big splashes to both men. Otis then hits a splash, and he clotheslines Austin over the top rope into the floor. Tozawa and Otis then rearrange the announce desk while Logan Paul holds up the title belts. Brian Breakker then hits a massive spear to Otis, and Austin sends Tozawa into the ring and begins to punch Tozawa. Otis rolls back into the ring, and Maxine goes to the turnbuckles while Brian sets up for a spear, and he hits it. Another massive spear by Brian Breaker as the Vision stand tall. So the Vision going to win next week? I don't think so. I think we're going to see some weird shit. Maybe we get some kind of upset. Maybe that's how they get a title match. I don't know. Maybe they'll win the titles, but does anybody know if that's a title match next week? Anybody know if that's a title match? Because if that's a title match, the Vision's too tall tonight. We'll see. We take a look at what happened at Fanatics Fest, New York City. We didn't see JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan corner Danhausen in the back and demand their money back. This story has been going on for a while. Dominic then gives Danhausen 30 seconds to come back with their money, or JD will break his jaw. Danhausen then makes a deal and walks away. The Vision, they want their money. Be careful what you ask. Ask Hausen for. It was basically where Obafemi comes up. They open the briefcase, it's fake money. Oba comes in, they make the match official for Oba and also for Oba and Joe Henry shows up as well. And then we get Oba versus JD, and then Joe Henry versus Dom. Another big cast video package. So we're probably going to see Big Cass and Enzo on the Raw after SummerSlam. So we see Byron Saxton in the interview area with Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, who will be challenging Sol Ruca next Monday for the Intercontinental Championship on the Go Home Raw 2 right before SummerSlam. Byron asked about the situation with them and Danhausen. Roxanne Perez says that all they know is Danhausen better have all of Dominic's money. She then says they do not appreciate cheaters and thieves. She then says everyone has their eyes set on gold. Byron then mentions that Raquel faces Sol Ruca for the Women's Intercontinental Championship next week. Raquel then mentions that Byron has seen her get screwed over for a title that should be hers. She then says, you might have made a few waves, but you are keeping the title warm for her. So next week, Sol Ruca puts that Intercontinental Championship on the line again against Raquel Rodriguez. So we then take a look back at the no disqualification match from Saturday with JD and Danhausen. Danhausen then makes his way down to the ring, and he has a satchel with him. Danhausen said he thought he took care of the Judgment Day on Saturday, but they want their money back. Danhausen then says he doesn't want it, but he doesn't want the Judgment Day to have it either. So he will give it to the fans. And then out comes Dirty Dominic Mysterio's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring with JD McDonough and the Raw Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. They get on the microphone, they say they want their money. JD then says no one in the scumbag town will see any of their money in Detroit. They then enter the ring. Danhausen says he has one thing to say. He says, you are cursed to all of them. Cursed them all. Liv's losing. All over a Danhausen curse. I don't know, guys. If you're a Liv fan, I'd be worried. I would be worried. So he curses them all. He tries to leave the ring. Dominic and JD then stop him, and they kick Danhausen to the ground. Liv then slaps Danhausen, but then out comes Joe Hendry. He makes his way down to the ring. Joe then sends JD to the floor, and he hits a follow-away slam on Dominic Mysterio. He then clotheslines Dominic over the top rope into the floor, and Liv Morgan has the satchel. So we're going to see more of this later on tonight with these people, all four of these people. We then take a look at another piece in the history between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. So they are trying to turn back the clock all the way, obviously, to the Shield days, back in the old days, because I do truly believe this is the last time we're going to see this match. So you guys enjoy these next 2 weeks. We head to the back, where Adam Pearce tells Liv, Dominic, and JD that he is sick of all of this. Joe Henry and Danhausen show up, and JD sees that he opens up the satchel that Liv toted out and sees that it is fake money in the satchel. Then Joe and Danhausen then point behind JD, and Oba Femi is standing right there. Oba Femi says, "What's all this commotion about?" So forth and so on. I don't know why they have Oba involved in this. Nothing else for him to do, I guess. Adam Pearson says maybe they settle in the ring right now. JD then says he didn't mean to throw the satchel. Dominic then says it is not fair. So Pierce says Dominic can face Joe Henry later tonight. Not a great start for the Judgment Day at all. So we go to the next matchup of the night. He will be facing Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam. The ruler himself, Oba Femi, makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night. Going one-on-one with JD McDonough, who is accompanied to the ring by Dominic Mysterio. Not a long match. Another quick, short squash match for Oba. The match starts off with Danhausen and Joe Henry coming from behind. They attacked from behind and send the Judgment Day into the ring. Oba Femi then hits a double clothesline. Oba Femi then sends Dominic over the top rope into the floor. JD McDonough then tries to get some offense on Oba. He tries to deliver a chop. No kind of effect on Oba. Oba then hits a back body drop, and he follows up with a series of uppercuts in the corner. Oba Femi then sends JD McDonough across the ring and hits him with the fall from grace for the 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi makes short work of JD McCrispy tonight. The ruler destroys. After the match, Oba gets on the microphone. Oba says no more nonsense and BS. Oba says he will see Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. Oba then starts to leave the ring, but he remains to do his pose. He tells Brock, get ready for hell. So, we didn't see her on live TV, but if you have a VPN, you saw this. We see Byron Saxton with the Women's Intercontinental Champion. They couldn't even show her on TV. What are they doing? What are you doing, Triple H? We see Saul Ruka in the interview area. Byron brings up Saul's match next week. Saul says she is stoked for the challenge. Saul then says Raquel will have a bad case of deja vu. Saul then says they have wrestled before, and she reminds us that she beat Raquel. Saul then says if she wanted to get her soul snatched, and Lyra Valkyria then interrupts. There we go, guys. There's the setup right there. There's your SummerSlam match. Just like I said last week on Kyle's show. And Kyle said as well. Lyra interrupts. She congratulates Saul for doing so well with the title that she created. Saul then asks Lyra if she is okay and wants to know what is going on. Lyra then says she is glowing because she dropped a lot of dead weight with Bayley. Lyra then says whether it is Saul or Raquel, she is coming back for what is hers. Lyra then tells Saul she hopes she is ready. That is your SummerSlam match, guys. Saul Ruka will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Lyra Valkyria at SummerSlam. So get ready for it. That is going to be the SummerSlam match. We get Solo Sikoa in the ring on the microphone. He's laughing around, joking around, all the sort. He says he's not supposed to be on this show, but he has a proposition to make. Solo tells Seth Rollins to come out. So we get the challenger for the men's Raw Heavyweight Champion in the Night 2 main event. Seth Rollins makes his way down to the ring. Seth Rollins says Solo Sikoa. Seth Rollins says since Solo Sikoa doesn't come here, he welcomes him to Monday Night Rollins. Rollins then asks, "What can I do for you?" Rollins then says, "If they are talking or are they fighting?" So then says he is not here to fight. So then says he knows that Seth is focusing on getting ready for Roman, but it is not you versus him. So then says it is not one-on-one. So then says it is you versus the whole damn bloodline. Could Solo be joining up with Roman Reigns and them at SummerSlam? We'll see. It's not going to be Zilla, so can tell you guys that. And I don't think The Rock's showing up either, but we'll see. So, Solo says it's 4 against 1 to Seth. Solo then says he knows what they're going to do, and he knows the game plan. He's been with them. He knows how they operate. Solo then says it doesn't have to be like that. Solo then says he calls Seth out to tell Seth that he can watch his back at SummerSlam. Seth tells Solo that he makes a lot of good points. Seth then says, "You are right about Roman and the bloodline." Seth then says they could do something special if they work together. Seth then tells Solo, but he said he needs to think about it. Solo grabs Seth Rollins' arm, pulls him back to face him. Solo stops Seth before he leaves, and then he tells him there is nothing to think about. He then says, "What you did for Cody at WrestleMania 40 to help him beat Roman, I can do the same thing for you." Bringing up the WrestleMania 40 stuff. And then out comes the Samoan werewolf himself, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's music then interrupts. He makes his way down to the ring. Solo then immediately is out of the ring. He gets out of the ring. Jacob tells Solo he knows what he has to do. Seth then delivers a super kick to Jacob Fatu, and he smiles and leaves the ring. Interesting stuff there. Is Jacob Fatu going to get involved? I don't want that. I think Roman needs to win fair or straight up clean. So, interesting segment there. We have Solo. We got a little bit of resemblance to WrestleMania 40. Seems like the Avengers, Doomsday type stuff. I don't know. This story started off really good, and now for me, it's just, I don't know. It's just not really hitting for me right now. They still have one more. Roman will be back next week on the Go Home show. So hopefully they can close the deal and bring me back fully invested in this match. This is the Night 2 main event, by the way. So we take a look at what happened between Penta and Chad Gable. They will be going one-on-one at SummerSlam for Intercontinental title. Ethan Page and Rusev then make their way down to the ring for the next match of the night. And they say they have something to say before the match. Ethan says he wants to talk about Chad Gable. He then says he is not surprised that everyone is falling for his bullcrap. He then says now Penta is falling all over Chad. He then says opponents at SummerSlam coexisting. He then says the last time Chad wrestled for the Intercontinental Championship, it was against Sami Zayn. He said Chad could not win the title in front of his hometown fans. Oh boy. He then says Chad beat up Sami in front of his entire family. He then says, is that what you cheer for? He then says, is that who you can't want to call your partner? tonight. Ethan Page and asked Rusev what he thinks about Chad, and Rusev says, Bangaranga. Have to look that up. Tell me what that means. Ethan Page says that translates to moron. So there you go. It means that he's a moron. He then says Rusev is talking about Penta. He then calls Chad a con man, and Penta is the fool. And then out comes the challenger for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. Chad Gable makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, accompanied to the ring by his partner, the Intercontinental Champion himself, Penta. They love teaming up the people that are facing each other. Can they coexist stuff? So this is going to be a tag team match with the WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta and Chad Gable versus All Ego Ethan Page and the Line of Bulgaria Rusev. The match starts off with all four men in the ring. Rusev and Ethan Page then jump Penta and Chad Gable. Ethan Page then hits a big boot to Penta. Rusev then enters the fray and helps Ethan Page hit a snap suplex. Rusev and Ethan Page then continue their beatdown on Penta and Chad Gable. Penta then super kicks Rusev and tags Chad Gable in. Gable then hits a double clothesline to Rusev and Page. Gable then sends Page out to the floor. Penta then goes spine first into the apron. Rusev then sends Penta into the steel steps. Rusev then tries to take Penta's mask off. Ethan Page is now the legal man in the match, and he continues to beat down on Penta. Penta then chops Ethan Page and hits him with the Hurricane Rana. Ethan Page hits a clothesline, but only gets a count of 2. Ethan Page then applies a rear chin lock in the middle of the ring. Rusev is now the legal man. He distracts the official, allowing Ethan Page to take a cheap shot. Penta then tries to fight back, but Rusev hits a knee right to the midsection. Penta then hits a crossbody, and both men are down. Chad Gable then comes in. He hits a series of German suplexes to Ethan Page. Rusev then enters the fray. Chad Gable sends him across the ring. Chad Gable then hits Penta with an angle slam, but only gets a count of 2. Dang, where is everybody tonight? This is a small crowd for Raw. You guys really must have hated Raw. Chad Gable then goes for a moonsault. Ethan Page moves out of harm's way. Rusev then hits a big boot to Gable and plants him to the mat. Penta then breaks up the fall. Ethan Page then knocks Penta out with the right hand. Penta then fires back, sends him over the top rope, and launches himself over the top rope, wiping out Ethan Page. Chad Gable and Rusev are now going back and forth. Rusev then applies the accolade in the middle of the ring. Chad Gable then tries to fight out of it, but Rusev shoves him into Penta. Chad Gable then applies an ankle lock. The finisher. Penta then hits Ethan Page with a Mexican Destroyer, and Rusev taps out to the ankle lock. Chad Gable made Rusev tap out. The moron made Rusev tap out. The winners of the tag team match, the WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta and Chad Gable. After the match, Chad stares at the Intercontinental title before handing it back to Penta. Very similar to the Cody Punk stuff, except they haven't gotten physical yet. Let me see what that was. 1 second, guys. That was anything. Okay. And now my phone resets. So yeah, another coexist angle. So then we then look at the next part of the history between Roman and Seth. So they kind of break it down from start to finish, basically. We then see Seth Rollins walking in the back. He sees Jacob Fatu. Seth tells Jacob to hit him. Seth then says he can't because he knows the game. Seth then says Jacob Fatu is on strict orders not to lay a finger on him. It's true. Seth then asks when he beats Roman, does he get the title and his bag boy? Oh boy. Seth laughs. Jacob then says Seth is going up on him. Jacob then says if there's anything left of him after SummerSlam, he is going to beat his ass. So we could be looking at a Jacob Fatu Seth Rollins match coming up after SummerSlam. That's what I'm thinking. So we go to Paul Heyman, who was not with the Vision tonight, by the way. He cuts a promo. And he says he was told to discuss Hell in a Cell without using the term violence. But that is what Hell in a Cell is all about. Heyman then says everyone thinks that Brock's streak of never losing at Hell in a Cell will end, but they are wrong. Paul Heyman then says Oba has had the best rookie year since Brock Lesnar. Paul then says Oba thinks he will rule over Brock's streak at Hell in a Cell, when the truth is that you cannot beat Brock inside Hell in a Cell. Paul Heyman then says Oba's rookie year will go down in history, not because of dominance, but because it will end at the hands of the Beast Incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is actually undefeated inside Hell in a Cell. Interesting fact there. Call it the Broctagon. So we then look at the next part of the history between Seth and Roman. So Dominic Mysterio makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, accompanied to the ring by the Women's Raw Heavyweight Champion, Liv Morgan, followed by Joe Hendry. Probably have something for him to do, I guess. So we're getting Joe Hendry versus the AAA Mega Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And there goes my phone. Yeah, tonight just wasn't it, guys. It wasn't. That's why the views are down. So we're at 74. We're not even 100. That's crazy. All right. So the match starts off with Dominic driving his shoulders into the midsection of Joe Hendry in the corner. Joe Hendry then fights back and hits a clothesline. Joe Hendry then hits an arm drag. Henry then hits a series of uppercuts to Dominic in the corner. Joe then hits an Irish whip and follows it up with a delayed vertical suplex. Joe Hendry then runs into a big boot. Dominic then goes for a suicide dive, but Joe Hendry catches him mid-air and plants him on the announce desk. Liv Morgan then sends Joe Hendry into the ring post. So she got involved. Danhausen, no story for Liv, women's wise, but except for Io a little bit, but she's getting involved in the Judgment Day stuff. So then out comes Danhausen. He comes out to curse Liv Morgan, but she hits him with a right hand. Dominic then continues to beat down on Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry then hits a couple of uppercuts, but Dominic slams his head into the mat. Dominic then hits the Three Amigos. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero. Joe Hendry then tries to fight back, but Dominic puts him down. Joe Hendry then hits Dominic with a vertical suplex. Joe Hendry then hits a fallaway slam to Dominic Mysterio. Joe Hendry then hits a clothesline to Dominic and goes for the pin, but Dominic kicks out at 2. Liv Morgan again gets on the apron to distract Joe Hendry, allowing Dominic to hit him with the DDT, and both men are now down. So then out comes Danhausen on some sort of cart with the challenger to Liv Morgan's Women's World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, Io Sky. Io Sky and Liv Morgan meet in the aisleway and start to brawl. Io Sky hits a missile dropkick. Io Sky then hits Morgan with a crossbody. Danhausen then hits Dominic with a Danhausen death drop. And he gets outside the ring. Joe Hendry comes to, acts like he don't even really know where he is. Gets on top, covers up Dominic Mysterio for the 1-2 3. Joe Henry has defeated the AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio. The curse continues. Wave your hands, Housen. Danhausen and Joe Henry are doing the wave after the match. So, we see LA Knight warming up moments before his clash with Jacob Fatu in the main event. We see Byron Saxton in the interview area, and he welcomes the Vision. Austin Theory says he didn't hear anything Byron said. Austin Theory then says Otis got dropped tonight and the business was settled. Maxine Dupree then says all she did was stand up for her boyfriend. Maxine then says if anyone wants to mess with Maximum Pressure, they can face her wrath. Logan Paul then chimes in and says Alpha Academy doesn't want to deal with them. He calls them pathetic. Logan Paul then says Otis doesn't even have a neck. Logan Paul then says Alpha Academy won't get anywhere near the World Tag Team titles. Logan then says he might make this match possible next week. Logan Paul then says you cannot handle Austin or Braun. So that match is official next week. Alpha Academy against Braun and Austin. We take a look back at the main event segment of Saturday Night's Main Event with Jalen Brunson, Roman Reigns. The title that Roman Reigns gave to Jalen Brunson, and then Seth Rollins obviously coming down as well with the guy from the Indiana Pacers. So Tyree Halliburton. So then they doing a special announcement, and it is the 9th match announced for SummerSlam. Danhausen will face Dominic Mysterio one-on-one at SummerSlam. So next week, it is then announced that next week Roman and Seth will have a final face-to-face before they meet at SummerSlam. Alpha Academy will face the Vision. They didn't say it was for the title, so I'm taking it. It is a non-title match. Sol Ruca defends her Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. There will be a concert with Joe Henry and Danhausen, and we will have a weigh-in for the Hell in a Cell match with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. They are going to treat it as it is a UFC or boxing match next Monday. So next Monday again, we get Roman and Seth face-to-face. The Alpha Academy faces the Vision. Sol defends against Raquel. We're going to get a concert with Joe and Danhausen and a weigh-in for the Hell in a Cell match between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. LA Knight makes his way down to the ring for the main event of the night. LA Knight grabs a microphone and says, "Let me talk to you." LA Knight says he is standing in Detroit and we're a few weeks from SummerSlam, and he is going to be in a 6-man tag against Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Jacob Fatu. LA Knight then asked if he heard Solo, and man, he told he was not easy to trust, and now he is going to help Seth Rollins. LA Knight then says, "You were wedding Solo?" LA Knight then says Seth and Roman at SummerSlam makes him absolutely sick. LA Knight then says Roman has conned you. LA Knight then says Roman has come out year after year to beg you to like him, and you booed him out of the building year after year until he finally figured something out. LA Knight then says he is everything that Roman wanted to be. LA Knight then says he came in on night 1, and he is everything that everyone wanted Roman to be, but he couldn't. LA Knight then says as much as he can't stand Seth and Roman, Solo is focused on the wrong thing. LA Knight then says he wants to help Seth. LA Knight then says he appreciates what Solo has done with the Bloodline, but it is a bridge too far to help Seth Rollins. LA Knight then says we destroyed the Bloodline to make sure they are not a factor in the main event. LA Knight then says they leave on their ass. LA Knight then says in a little bit, Jacob Fatu's Mortal Kombat music is going to play, and he will test his might. He said Jacob Fatu's got some Mortal Kombat music. LA Knight says then says you will try as much as you can, try as much as you can, but you won't stop him. LA Knight then says he will cure the Jacob Fatu shakes by sending him back to his factory settings. That was a pretty good promo by LA Knight, I'm not going to lie. It's a good promo, funny. Good promo by LA Knight. So, the Samoan Werewolf himself, who's already had some altercations already with Solo and Seth Rollins. He got a super kick and a backstage demo. So, makes his way down to the ring. We're getting LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu in the main event. So, the match starts off with both men locking up. LA Knight then applies a side headlock. LA then hits a series of right hands. He applies a side headlock again. Both men are now going back and forth, and they're exchanging strikes. LA Knight then drops his shoulder into the midsection of Jacob Fatu. Fatu then hits LA Knight with the right hand. Fatu then goes for a hip attack, but LA Knight moves out of the ring and sends Jacob Fatu's leg into the post. LA Knight then chops Jacob Fatu down. Jacob Fatu then hits a suicide dive and sends LA Knight into the barricade. The fight then spills to the outside. Jacob then goes knee first into the steel steps. Jacob is now favoring his leg, but then he hits a Samoan drop on the apron. LA Knight slides through the ropes, taking out Jacob Fatu. LA Knight then slams Jacob Fatu's head into the announce desk. Jacob then sends LA Knight back against the post. LA Knight then slams Jacob Fatu's head into the steel steps. LA Knight hits a clothesline, wiping out Jacob Fatu. Back in the ring, Jacob Fatu hits a clothesline and sends LA Knight into the ring post. Jacob Fatu then takes out the table but changes his mind. The WWE Universe then erupts with a chorus of boos. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu are now exchanging right hands. Jacob then drops LA Knight on the apron. They get back in the ring. Jacob hits a series of sentons on LA Knight and follows it up with a running hip attack. LA Knight then tries to fight back, but Jacob hits a right hand and a vicious headbutt. Jacob then misses a splash, allowing LA Knight to hit a neckbreaker for a near fall. LA Knight then heads to the top rope, and Fatu trips him up. Both men are now battling it out on the top rope. LA Knight then hits a superplex, and both men are down. Jimmy Uso then shows up, and Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso. We see Jimmy Uso. He shows up, and Solo Sikoa comes as well and attacks Jimmy from behind. Jacob Fatu then takes out Solo Sikoa with a suicide dive. Back in the ring, LA Knight unloads on Jacob Fatu and then hits his finisher, the BFT. But Jimmy Uso is up on the ropes, distracting the referee. And Royce Keys comes in and clotheslines Jimmy Uso. And then out comes, we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, main event, Jey Uso's music hit. Jey comes out from the crowd. He hits a series of super kicks on Royce Keys and sends him over the barricade. LA Knight then slides through the rope, taking out Jey. But then back in the ring, Jacob Fatu hits LA Knight with the Samoan drop, and he follows it up with the mighty moonsault off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of the singles match is the Bloodline Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. After the match is over, Solo goes after Jacob, and Jimmy hits a super kick. Jey then hits a massive spear. Royce Keys then hits a spear and a spinebuster on Jacob Fatu. Jimmy and Jey then hit a 1D on Royce Keys. LA Knight then hit several punches to Jimmy and Jey, but then Jacob Fatu puts the Tongan death grip on LA Knight. Jey then hits a running hip, and Jimmy hits one as well. Jacob Fatu then delivers another running hip attack. Jey then goes up top, and he hits the Uso splash to LA Knight. The Bloodline then stand tall over Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight as the show comes to a close. So, that was your show, guys. Let's go ahead and go over the matches for next week again. On Monday Night Raw, it will be the Go Home Raw before SummerSlam. Next week, we're going to see where is the matches for next week. So we're going to see Sol Ruka defend the Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins will have their last face-to-face before SummerSlam. Also, we're going to have a weigh-in with Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi next Monday. And then we're going to see the Vision going up against Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa. So that is your card for next week. We have 9 matches official for SummerSlam, which is August 1st, August 2nd, just right around the corner. About 12 days. 12 days from almost 11 days from SummerSlam. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. We didn't get very many views tonight. The show sucked, in my opinion, honestly. I'm glad I don't have tickets, truthfully. I do to Money in the Bank, but God, I hope it's better. The card's not terrible. It's just the build. These shows, like, they're just not building up these matches like I feel like they could, and I don't know. I think I would give Raw like a 5 tonight, truthfully. Nothing more, nothing less. I would not go any higher than a 5 for sure. So, but this has been your Raw recap here on the EVP show. Shout out to Kyle the Man Anthony, who I will be helping as a co-host Wednesday night with Queens of WWE episode 5. I'm sure we will have a lot to talk about with the women not being featured very much tonight. Everything involved with the Rhea Ripley situation and the ladder matches taking place at SummerSlam. Shout out to Greg for at DWE Family _media for reposting the stream. Also, shout out to the Tribal Kingpin. Not even many comments tonight. You guys must either be in the space or you guys just didn't enjoy Raw. But thank you guys again for tuning in to your Raw recap show. Once again, as I mentioned before, I do have an exclusive Discord channel. It is only $3 a month, guys. We're getting close to the end of the month. You can either wait it out to the 1st of August, or you can go ahead and get it in now and ride it out to the end of August. But it's only $3 a month, no contract. Posted a lot of stuff in the chat tonight that came from the exclusive channel. Several people have signed up over the last few days, so it's starting off really well. Also, got some fantasy football leagues up there for you guys if you guys are interested in joining. And most importantly, once we get to 300 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. And then on Sunday Scoop this Sunday, there will be another person drawn because we got 11 likes on yesterday's stream for a 1 month in my exclusive news channel on Discord. So we are live on the EVP Show's YouTube channel. We're also live on my X page, and we're live on DWE Television X. Make sure you follow DWTV on X. Everyone affiliated with DWE Television, starting with Miami the Great, CEO of DWE. You can catch him every Tuesday and Thursday with Inside the NFL Mind with Miami at 6 p.m. Eastern on DWE Television, and also on Twitch and on Talk It Up podcast. But you can also catch him and Final Boss Baby with 2Bs, the HR of DWE, every Saturday, unless it's a PLE, on DWE Radio. You can catch them on the DWE television page, also on Talk It Up podcast on YouTube, on DWE TV and DWE television on Twitch, and on Spotify as well. Shout out to the world of Greg. And you can catch him and Kyle the Man Anthony. Earlier, Director Reg was filling in for World of Greg. Director Reg did a great job. Him and Kyle the Man Anthony did the rundown an hour before Raw. So every Monday, you can catch the World of Greg and Kyle the Man Anthony 1 hour before Raw, and they will run down the entire Raw card for you guys. So make sure to watch that on DWE television. It was live today. I watched every single second of it. Good show. Also, Kyle the Man Anthony, who is on the rundown with the World of Greg. You can catch him also every Wednesday. I am his co-host as well for Queens of WWE. Coming up this Wednesday, episode number 5. Queens of WWE, episode number 5. Make sure you follow World of Greg and follow Kyle the Man Anthony. And there's also a new DWE media page. Also follow that on X as well. You can see it right here. DWE Family Official. All that them on X, that page on X as well. Also, Director Reg, who filled in for World of Greg on the rundown. Make sure you give him a follow. After Slam Podcast on X, YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram. Smoke Sessions Podcast and Sports Jedi Network, and everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. This has been your Raw Recap here on the EVP Show. Live Monday, July the 20th, 2026. I will be back shortly to tell you guys where you can find me on my social media platforms, what I have coming up for you guys this week, and I will give you my schedule for next week. So stay tuned.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recap Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
Once again, shout out to everybody that tuned in to the Raw Recap tonight. We just about hit 100 viewers. I think we usually, sometimes when it's running slow, we usually wrap it up and get close to right at 100. We're at 97 right now. Hopefully we can maybe hit that 100 mark. It's got to be between, I don't really usually get a whole lot of views from my Twitter, so it's from probably the majority from DWE Television and DWE Media's Twitter, but we're 2 away from 100. But as far as where you can find me on my social media platforms, it is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You can find me at EVPCJP on X. If you follow me on X, I will follow you back. The top of my X page, my YouTube is at the very top. And once again, I'm at 255 subscribers. Once we get to 300, there will be a giveaway. So if you see that up at the top of my X page, you can retweet it. You can share the link with your friends. Tell them to come into a Sunday Scoop, to a Raw Recap, an NXT Recap, a Big Brother Recap, Prediction Show, SmackDown Recap, LFG. I pretty much cover it all right now. So once they see what's going on that you like it, maybe they will hit that subscribe button and we can get closer and closer and closer to 300. I'm going to do the countdown. Once we get about 20 away, I'm really going to start pressing it. Right now, we're 45 subscribers away from 300. On Instagram, you can find me at EVPCJP as well. It is a business account, but you can see all the videos made by Miami the Great and World of Greg for my upcoming streams. So follow me on Instagram and you'll see all those upcoming videos. The NXT recap for tomorrow videos are already up. They've been up since this morning. Also on TikTok, it is a business account. As mentioned with Instagram, my YouTube is in my bio on Instagram and on TikTok. But on TikTok, you can find me at Brady DeGoat21. That's at BRADY DA Goat 21. Again, that's where you're going to find the videos for the upcoming streams made by Miami and Greg. And talking about Tom Brady, kind of talk about this Sunday, but we'll touch on it just a second. Reported by TMZ that he is in discussions with WWE about having a match. They showed the footage of him slapping Logan Paul. So, you know, TKO and WWE love celebrities. Tom Brady, in my eyes, is the greatest quarterback of all time. So we could be looking at a Tom Brady maybe and Gronk against Logan Paul and somebody else, or just a Tom Brady and Logan Paul match down the line. You could probably just about bank on it. But last but not least, most importantly, as we've been talking about, help me get to 300 subscribers so we could do this giveaway. Each 100 subscribers I get to, there will be another giveaway. The 500 subscribers will be the biggest one. If you can't find my YouTube page on any of my social media platforms, go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show. If you are subscribed, turn on that notification bell on, and you will be reminded when I go live. Once again, that's at the EVP show on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button and come join me for all of my daily wrestling content. So what I have coming up next for you guys, tomorrow night, I'm back again at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time live for your NXT recap show. Wednesday, I will not be live here on the channel. You can catch me live on WWE TV and also on Twitch. Unless Miami, I'm going to talk to him. Maybe I can stream it to maybe one of my platforms because it does give me that option. But you can catch the Queens of WWE, which is Kyle and Anthony's show. I am the co-host. It will be episode number 5 at 8 p.m. Eastern Wednesday night. So make sure you guys lock in and tune in for that. Thursday night, I'm back. It is not TNA anymore. We're dipping back into reality television. What a crazy week we've had at Big Brother. Can't wait to dive in and dissect everything that's happened since Ashley was evicted last Thursday night from Big Brother at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Thursday night. Join me for the Big Brother Season 28 Week 2 recap show. And then Friday night, it is the what's going to happen. And Sami Zayn going to be added. What are we going to see with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes? Tune in Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your SmackDown recap show. And then Saturday night, I'm usually not live, but I'm going to make sure that DW Radio is done and over with for a little while. Tune in at either 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern Saturday night as I will be doing WWE Season 3 Unreal recap show. I will be breaking down each episode. Probably going to be an hour and a half to 2 hour stream because it's a lot of episodes to dissect. But tune in Saturday night at 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern for the WWE Season 3 Unreal recap show. And then Sunday, it is Doubleheader Sunday again here on the EVP show. More than likely the last LFG show unless they go past 15 episodes. But tune in as one person will be drawn to win an exclusive membership into my exclusive channel and the news channel on the Discord for Sunday night scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern. The last Sunday night scoops of July. And we won't have another Sunday night scoops until August the 9th. So make sure you tune in Sunday so you can get all of the news right before SummerSlam. And then come back later that night for more than likely the last LFG unless they go past 15 episodes for the LFG Season 3 Episode 14 recap show. And then next week, it is SummerSlam week. On Monday, come back and join me at 11 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home show of Monday Night Raw. What will go down on Monday Night Raw next week? Join me at 11 p.m. Eastern for the Raw Recap Show. Tuesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Recap Show. Next Wednesday, a week from the Wednesday, join me and 9 others at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the SummerSlam prediction show. We will be predicting all 13 matches with a great panel. Looking forward to everybody coming on. Should be a lot of fun. If you're not on the panel, I will be having another one towards the end of August for NXT Heatwave. But you can join us in the comments and put your predictions for the SummerSlam card Hopefully, we have all the card by next Wednesday. If not, we will roll with what we have, but we at least have 9 matches. I believe we'll have close to the entire card because we still have SmackDown and then we have another Raw. So I do believe we'll at least get close to 13 before the SummerSlam prediction show next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So join us for that. Make sure you turn that notification bell on and come join us for that. Next Thursday, we're back for some more reality TV. It is Big Brother Season 28, Week 3 Recap Show. Who will be the third person to leave the Big Brother house? And then next Friday, it is the Absolute Go Home Show right before SummerSlam. Join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your SmackDown Recap Show. And then next Saturday night, it is SummerSlam. Join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Maybe a little bit later, just depending on when the post show is over, for the SummerSlam Night 1 Recap Show. And then next Sunday, no Sunday Night Scoops and no LFG. It will be this Sunday, but not next Sunday. 10:30, 10:45, 11 p.m. Eastern, same time. As the dust settles on the big, huge 2-night PLE in Minnesota SummerSlam, join me for the SummerSlam Night 2 Recap Show. That is a full list, guys, for the rest of this week and next week. So you guys lock in and join me every single night for all of my content. And make sure to like and subscribe to the stream tonight and to my channel. With that being said, guys, that has been your Raw Recap. Shout out to we did peak the 100 view mark, which is okay. Pretty good considering the show sucked tonight. But hopefully you guys enjoy your Tuesday. And I will be back once again tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your NXT Recap Show. I am the EVP from the EVP Show and the golden boy of DWE. And DWE is the only place to be. Enjoy your Tuesday and come tap right back in with me tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT Recap Show. Good night, everyone.